do countdowns. Please stop.
This could be the thumbnail for this episode, bro.
You look like you got Botox and it went really awry.
What if it went really good? So, welcome to Shanetrain. Today,
Wait, hold on.
let's introduce ourselves.
Yeah.
I'm
Go ahead.
Shanetrain.
I'm Mason.
Oh, I'm Travis.
So, the title for the show is actually brought to you by Travis. You got to
And-
explain it, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
So no, I mean everybody's on the whole Ted Bundy thing. I mean that's it. It's either the Fire Festival or the Ted Bundy. That's
It's
the only
Netflix,
thing.
fucking, it's
Exactly.
what's hot on Netflix.
We're the culture vultures.
So
Culture
we had, we had a family dinner at my parents' house, and we went there and we were talking about it, and I was explaining everything, and I recall vaguely. So this could be. I know this came up somewhere, but this is
how we
my
title our
rough
shows.
estimate of what I think happened this
Perfect.
last
All
Sunday.
the caveats to
this
ever
last Sunday.
not be responsible.
So, so I'm fairly certain
Oh, God.
Perfect.
that my mom was telling me that one of her relatives had a friend who dated Ted Bundy when he moved here to Utah, because he came here and he was trying to act normal.
Yeah,
I mean,
nailed it.
he joined the
He
church.
nailed it.
He like
They were fighting for him.
yeah, I know
The church was.
That's
Is that right?
crazy.
Yeah, they had
Oh,
like
yeah.
people's protesting or whatever
Mm.
to like set him free or.
So, hold on.
Go ahead.
So your
Yeah.
mom's...
Did I cut you off?
No. Your mom's...
Friends? No, mom's relative.
Your mom's relative, so
yeah.
someone on your mom's side
Yeah.
had a friend
Had a
who
friend.
dated Ted Bundy.
Correct.
Pretty much, we're deeply involved with this story,
Yeah.
like almost firsthand. So we
Mhm.
need to cover this.
I immediately regret bringing this up.
Does, does your mom still have weird ties to this strange person?
Not that I'm aware of.
I
But
would love to
that.
talk to someone who dated Ted Bundy.
I wonder if sometimes they fantasize about him, because I
You
mean,
think so?
there was chicks in the documentary that did. There were chicks in the documentary going to his court cases, and
Yeah.
like because he scared them and they didn't know why they were there. Like they interviewed him and
They want that serial
like,
killer
so why are
hog,
you here?
bro.
Serial killer. They're like, why are you here doing this? And they were like, kind of confused. I think their human nature was just happening, and they were like, I don't know.
Whoa.
Isn't that weird?
That's
and then
weird.
I mean, you guys are talking about it. Manson has like pretty solid chicks, right?
He married a girl. She was in her 20s.
But they like don't just love him; they love
They
him.
love him.
Like
yeah.
they're obsessed.
Yeah.
So there's a human nature piece.
Yeah.
You can't ignore.
He married her like, what? Was it like 5 years before he died?
Oh, he's dead.
Yeah, he died.
I should probably keep up
He
on
died,
my
like,
serial
last
killers.
year.
All right.
But he married a 22-year-old or 23-year-old when he was probably 80.
I remember.
70-something.
I remember seeing something about that.
Yeah.
Do they still get like conjugal visits or whatever? And how are we allowing that? Like you're in big trouble, mister, but you can bone your girlfriend.
I mean,
I sounded
You're
like
right.
Michelle Tanner, by the way.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, it's Full House.
Oh.
You're in big trouble, mister.
Do they do a lot of boning on Full House? Sorry.
Well, you don't know the show at all.
No, I don't. uh,
Shout out to Full House,
So-
unofficial sponsor.
I mean, on one
And
hand,
Diet Pepsi.
you're right. Oh, wait, we need to give a shout-out real quick.
Hmm.
Shout out Randall for the mini fridge.
Oh
It's
yeah,
keeping the Shane Train
we have a
beverages.
sponsor.
We d-
So Randall Zorn,
Randall.
Randall's
he's the
on.
reason these drinks are cold. He donated a fridge to the show.
Shout out to the homie
We're
Randall.
using it. How cold is your beer, Travis?
It's cold enough.
Oh my God, thank
Cold
you, Randall.
enough.
Cold
Cold
enough is
enough.
better than room temp. I promise you. Man, our sponsors come through on this show.
Okay, sorry. So,
yeah.
yes, thank you to our sponsor, Randall.
Mhm.
So conjugal visits, I can see on one hand where you're like, yeah, you're a bad person. You don't get anything. Sit in this box forever. But on the other hand, on the flip side, you've got
There must be
release some tension.
There must be some reason.
Like, just give him a little fucking, you know what I'm saying? Just a little, get his wiener wet a little bit,
But
and
like
he'll calm down.
He's making babies, maybe. Whoa, is that like a song?
He's making babies, maybe.
Yeah. But no, you know what I mean? Like we shouldn't be making fucking
Baby,
death
we
row
may be
children.
making babies.
Or maybe I'm going to hell. I don't know, man.
I
And
mean,
the
that's
right
on the-
situation could have conjugal visits that were healthy,
Yeah.
but outside of that, I don't know.
They give conjugal visits to some weird people.
Ted Bundy had conjugal visits.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, dude. That girl so a girl fell in love with him like during his court case,
Mhm.
and they conjugal visited, and he wasn't supposed to like get physical, but he did anyway. And the guard just be like, yeah, whatever, man. But honestly, if he's a prisoner for life or whatever, and I was a guard, I might just be like, hey man, you're a human. Like,
Yeah, but then it goes back to what you were saying. Do you want Ted Bundy kids with
ooh.
Ted Bundys?
Is serial killer a genetic deformity?
Was it a genetic deformity or
So genetically, or I should say just like biologically, he was weird.
was he?
Yeah, they talked about his childhood and like he was different. He never fit in. He
What
tried
about-
like hell.
Yeah. What
And-
about his parents?
So I've only seen his mom interviewed, but his dad must be dead. But his mom was like,
Well-
he's perfect, everything's great type lady.
Oh, okay.
Even through all of his trials and all of his stuff,
Really?
he's perfect, everything's great.
So, his parents on the outsides appeared to be okay.
Oh, get this. When he was like 11 and he was telling the therapist in Utah who was trying to decide if he was sane, when he was telling this therapist the story, he's like, I was actually going through my mom's belongings or some box. I don't remember the details, but I was going through my mom's stuff and I found my birth certificate. And I looked up and I saw my mom's name, and under my dad it said unknown. And that's when he found out he was adopted.
Oof.
And he said to the therapist in Salt Lake, didn't bother me at all. No big deal. This sort of thing happens. And this is like what he's saying on tape.
And you heard it?
Yeah, that's part of the
How does
special.
it? Oh, okay. Oh, thanks.
Watch Netflix, motherfucker.
So did it weird you out? Because for me, I watched a little bit of it, and it weirded me out to hear his voice. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It was strange.
I
to
think
hear
he's
his
like
voice.
really smart and smooth.
Yeah, but
he
he-
should be an attorney or a politician.
But he couldn't make it. He took the LSAT,
True.
and what was it? Was it average or low scores or something?
I don't know on that one.
And he went to like a night school. Right?
Really?
He went to a night school, like a law night school,
Really?
and he hated it.
He could sure fake it well.
Yeah. He wanted to be a politician, is that right?
Yeah, he tried.
Mhm.
He worked at it. In fact, he got busted spying.
Really?
Yeah. That's like some political party hired him to spy.
I don't get that. I will say some pictures of him look really like who's the old guy in all the movies?
Oh, that
Travis?
guy? Thanks for narrowing
Who's
it
the
down.
old guy
Narrows
that
that
makes
down.
all the movies?
Old guy that makes movies. Oh, Robert Redford?
No.
Quentin Tarantino.
No.
No, he's in
Quentin
the
Tarantino.
he's in the Quentin It's what's his name?
Don't even. You
Old
just-
guy? Like,
This man just said Quentin Tarantino.
no,
No,
like
what's
fucking
his
Silence
name?
of the Lambs old guy?
No, like Gran Torino.
Oh.
Fucking
Gran Torino.
What is his name?
my guy.
Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, he's
Some
in
pictures he looks like that. You know what I mean? Like gruff. And,
Dying.
and then some pictures he just has like this fucking afro and looks like the biggest nerd.
Ted Bundy?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got like a fucking flowy perm sometimes, or like a flowy
But then other pictures he looks like weathered.
psychotic.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when he broke out of Aspen, which Jesus Christ, how does a guy break out of 2 jails?
You're gonna have to explain this to me because I didn't.
You
get
haven't
that
seen
far.
this, right?
No.
Jesus
It's-
Christ.
It's crazy.
It is crazy. He's in Aspen getting tried for murder,
Yeah.
and they don't have him handcuffed or anything. And
Oh,
he's in a room with a window 25 feet up, and he practiced like the night before jumping off his bunk over
Mhm.
and over and over to get his knees used to the impact or something.
All
And he
right.
just jumped. And they didn't even know he was gone. They're like, where's he going? And he already ran up in the mountains. And there's only
Oh,
2 ways
cool.
out of Aspen. So he went up in the mountains, got fucked up, found a cabin, came back for food or, well, I don't know. He came back, and then he stole a car and got busted like on a U-turn in
Really?
Aspen. And they caught him, and they were embarrassed. And they should be.
So did they realize his body count? at that time?
No. This is what
Okay.
they're explaining. They didn't have fax.
Why was he
They
going
didn't
to
even
jail
have
at that
fax
point?
machines in the 70s.
Why was he going to jail in Aspen?
He was busted in Salt Lake first. We should probably pull up a timeline just in case. But he's
You want me
busted.
to? You want me
A
to look?
simple one.
All right.
He was busted in Salt Lake City, right? And then we got him in trouble, but nothing crazy. I think we got him for kidnapping. And then Aspen, like, what's the word, indicted, or what's the where they move a
Yeah.
criminal?
Mm-hmm.
They gave him to Aspen, and then they were just trying to get him busted. But they were having trouble.
'Cause I think he got busted here. This is where he got caught. But
Yeah.
they said they never really explained a reason why. But they said that Utah passed it over to Colorado or
Yep.
something like that. Like they just
Which we
didn't
don't
want
normally
anything to
do.
do with. Yeah, and
I
that's
think we
why it
wanted
was
him
so
busted.
weird. Yeah.
I think there's a bunch of people on the documentary who were just like, he needed to never be on this, never be free again. Was
Yeah.
like how most
Yep.
people felt about him.
Hmm.
Dude, they showed old school Fashion Place mall shots.
Are you
even-
serious?
And
I
I
gotta
remember,
keep watching.
I remember the way it looked, like the Sears building
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the interior of the mall. I was like, wow, flashback when I was a little kid. Probably like 1990 is when the mall looked like that. It's crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a timeline here. So let me just
A
go.
basic one.
Yeah. Okay, so
Do you need a shot? You good?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I do.
A little halfy.
Okay, so one of the first bigger
You good?
I'm good.
bigger points in the timeline. It says in the early '60s, a possible first murder at age 14. Which
Ooh, 14.
did
That's
they
impressive.
I don't think they said
Setting-
that in the
setting
documentary.
records.
I didn't know.
In
I
the
didn't.
series.
Maybe.
Possible. Okay, so he went to college. He enrolled at the University of Puget Sound
Puget
for
Sound.
law.
Puget Sound.
Sound?
Mhm.
Yeah, so he didn't like
Peugeot.
that.
Here's to killing at
Oh,
14.
yeah, sorry.
Setting records.
Here's to your family, sisters, brothers, sons, dogs, sister.
Who dated
Nephew.
Ted Bundy?
Yeah.
Hmm. A very late Gambé.
Oh, fuck. Where need get your Gambé shirt.
So it says here, this is interesting. I don't think that I saw this in the show, the 1.5 episodes.
Let's
I
do a
saw.
laptop shot, Trav.
Okay.
Look, you can see Mason's laptop. Think of the
I'm gonna cut out
technology
the
we have.
advertisement because you're not getting this money. So in 1971, it says Bundy takes a very unlikely job, and it says, what does a serial killer do for work? And one of the most surprising tidbits
Politics.
about Ted Bundy's life, he began working at Seattle's suicide hotline in 1971.
Jesus.
What?
So he started working at the suicide hotline in Seattle.
He had insight
So
into human
interesting.
psyche. Like through
Yeah.
politics and college and whatever he's doing in the suicide hotline, you could just tell he was in tune with how people thought or something. Like he had too much edge.
Yeah.
He understood a little too much. He was so fucking devious and sneaky too.
So he enrolled at the University of Utah Law School
Mhm.
Yeah.
in 1974.
One of his friends is like, I couldn't figure out why he was going to Utah to go to law school.
Yeah.
But I know why he was going because like we had the perfect. It seemed like he was pursuing these perfect women, and
Really?
I bet you came here for the perfect family, perfect women, perfect.
Well,
the
his
family nucleus.
his girlfriend in Washington was Mormon.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
I bet he
think
fell in love with that idea.
I think he would have done something to her if she hadn't been the one who brought it forward about him and like notified the authorities, because she was the one who said he says these things, he's doing
Yeah.
this and stuff, and I bet he would have killed her, but that would have looked way too suspicious. So he bails and he
Yeah.
goes to Utah, where there's 1,000,001 girls like the wife he just had,
Yep.
and
Good
blends
point.
in and starts killing.
Innocent, cute white girls.
So
Yeah.
the
Be his
same
thing.
year, 1974,
Mhm.
it says Bundy tries and fails to kidnap.
Yeah.
And it says on
They
November
featured
8th,
that.
1974, Carol Duran
Yeah.
was leaving a mall in Murray, Fashion Place, which
Yeah.
we were just talking about.
Mhm.
She's on the documentary.
He approached her, introduced himself as Officer Rosalind, and told a false story that someone had tried to break into her car. So I guess he tried to kidnap her. And
Yeah.
So that's what you were talking about, the old mall.
Yeah. And it shows Fashion Place in its glory.
its glory. Okay, so he was arrested.
Uh-huh.
He was spotted driving around in Salt Lake early in the morning. He was pulled over.
And he ran, dude.
They searched his car and found many suspicious items like
Ice
a ski
pick.
mask and handcuffs.
Ice picks.
Is that right?
Yeah, they had rope.
Mhm.
It
But
was
they
like,
didn't
what
have
the
anything to get him.
fuck? No.
So they released him.
But it was like a total what the fuck.
Really?
Yeah.
So the next year, the woman who he tried to kidnap identifies him in a lineup. And then 1976, he goes to trial. Is that what it would be for? The kidnapping?
Yeah.
Where he goes
They
to
had
ask
him like psychologically evaluated too.
Okay, so he was found guilty. He was sentenced to serve 1 to 15 years in Utah State Prison. While in jail, he was charged with a murder, which he committed in Colorado, which would tie into the Aspen part. So he was transferred to Aspen because of that murder. And then he escaped. So that was in 76. In 77, he escapes by
Dude,
doing
he
exactly
jumped
what
out
you
a
said.
fucking window in Aspen, and he prepped for it, and he wasn't handcuffed. That's crazy.
So it says his ankle broke in the fall that you were talking about. He trained himself. He broke his ankle, and that didn't stop him. He made it past the courthouse, roadblocks, and into the woods for 6 days. He stole a car and broke into a camping trailer for supplies.
Mm-hmm.
2 police officers spotted him and apprehended him. Bundy went back to jail. So you break your ankle, you're out for less than a week, and you go back.
Jesus.
But then the next year he escapes again.
Dude, that was the crazy thing. Is I thought that was like I thought that's the farthest it would go. He broke out once. They know now, right? He fucking broke out again.
And it went into it in the documentary.
Out of a jail cell, out of the ceiling, crawled through like crawl space into
Wait,
some.
he went out of the jail. He escaped the jail cell and went through the
He
ceiling.
carved like a hole in the ceiling, crawled through like like between a ceiling and a floor, crawled through a layer into like the one of the inmates' homes because he lived on premises or something.
Oh.
Crawled out and went out, changed into the officer's clothing, and walked out.
So it's a real Shawshank.
Yeah, but crafty and what the fuck? And
That's
who are
crazy.
these jaffy ass lawmen?
And
who
no one
can't
realized
handle
he was
this guy?
gone until the next day.
Yeah, he put books in his bed and he looked like he was lying there, which is stupid too. Like, is anyone not checking up on this guy generally?
Yeah, you should make sure
He
your
just
prisoners
escaped
are
from
in.
Aspen. Like, just keep an eye on the fucker. Isn't that weird? That's weird.
I mean, we're really good.
Yeah.
Okay, so the end of 77, he arrives in Florida. Did it go to that at all?
Yeah. Dude,
Mhm.
you got to know why this documentary is so amazing.
Okay, tell me.
So there's like one very crucial moment that gives you so much insight into Ted Bundy because you're listening to his voice for a lot of it, and you've seen it, right, Travis?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
Did you watch the whole thing?
Yep.
Okay.
so his attorney, no, Travis would know. Maybe it was a reporter. Anyway,
Is it the old guy?
someone is like, he won't. Yeah, someone was like, he won't tell us shit.
He
Is
was a
there?
reporter.
I think he was just doing stories on Ted Bundy. But anyway,
Yeah, he had a recorder.
yeah, and he's like, how could we get this guy to talk about himself like without knowing? And they're like, it wasn't you. We get that.
Yeah.
What would the person who would do these murders be like? And he just
Right.
ate it up, right?
Right.
He
Yeah,
fell
yeah.
in love with it. He just grabbed the recorder and went for it and started explaining what that killer would be like. What's weird, though, is he's explaining it in the documentary. He's explaining his whole mental inner game. Like, you know
Oh.
exactly what he's thinking.
Mm.
He's like, what if you got hooked on something and every time you did it, it made the desire more and you had to do it again? And it was like, but the way he explains everything he did, you're like, he was just fucking really mental. And it makes sense, and he's crafty and sneaky, and he's all about like he's a narcissist, ego maniac.
So the
He's
question
smart.
is, was he always that way? 'Cause
He was fucked. He was weird when he was little.
really?
Yeah.
'Cause if you look
Certified.
at like Jeffrey Dahmer, do you know who that is?
I don't know his story. I know I've heard of him.
He would like kill animals, and
That's
he kept them in like a thing out in his back shed or whatever. So he had a history of killing things, even if it was dogs or, you know what I mean, small animals. He had a history of it, even when he was like 7.
So Ted Bundy would make bear traps when he was a kid.
Oh,
And
yeah.
he would. Do you hear this? And he would
Yeah.
dig holes and put sharpened sticks pointing up in the bottom of the hole. And the girl fell into one of his bear traps and like lacerated her leg.
Yeah, like all the way up her leg.
Yeah, which is creepy. Why you're making bear traps?
That's.
I made
yeah.
traps when I was a kid, and I caught a golden retriever. Maybe I
Dude.
barely missed being a serial killer.
Is it bad that I would rather hurt a little girl than a golden retriever?
I mean, you're a
Am I Ted-
serial
am I
killer,
Ted
but
Bundy?
yeah, a little. Between the two of us, we have a full Ted
What
Bundy.
was your trap like?
I made
You can't just tell us you trapped a golden retriever and skate on.
no, so I was really obsessed with making like traps in the woods.
Yeah.
So I'd make like noose traps, and then you'd hook them on like a stick that had like a. So imagine like you'd put a stick under something and then pry up the pressure and then put it on top of a stick.
Oh,
So
yeah.
if anything bumped it, it would just snap and grab the neck. And I made one in the gully, like not knowing what I would catch.
Dipple
And no, my buddy lived by a gully, a buddy of mine named Kyle.
Oh, okay.
And we were just like, I don't know, we were just messing around. But I set the trap. We didn't know what happened. We left, we went skateboarding or something. Came back and there's just a golden retriever, like,
That is
like
so
fucking-
fucked up.
like wandering around with a noose around its neck. Like it wasn't a strong trap.
Yeah.
And we just went and let it out. But so it kind of worked.
It did.
It did work.
It did
totally
work.
worked. It didn't kill it. I think it's supposed to kill it.
All right, Bundy.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
I didn't.
so
I
he
didn't
was-
have sympathy for animals when I was little, though. It was weird.
Really?
Yeah. I would shoot birds and squirrels, and I think this is normal for little boys, or let's just say it is.
Oh, I shot birds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember like shooting a bird's wing and just fucking it up, and then putting it in my window well and keeping it as a pet.
Okay,
that's
I
a
didn't
little,
go that
That's a
far.
little Ted Bundy.
Holy shit.
I know. It's on the Ted Bundy spectrum.
Yeah. No, we never did that.
Oh, okay.
But we would go in the gully. I don't know if it's the same gully
9400.
by Smith's.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went in
We
that
went.
gully.
We rolled same goalie.
Yeah, dude.
That's fucking deep.
We would take our BB guns and our paintball guns and shoot at birds all the time.
Were you there when? Yeah. Were you there when they had the like fucking mesa jump or like the? It was like a giant
No, I don't
tabletop
think so.
platform jump,
Where?
dirt jump.
So
Right by
there's
out
the
the
bridge.
canyon.
There's the. Oh, you were further east.
Yeah, I was out the canyon.
I was like, you know where the bridge goes under 13th
Oh,
East?
you were poor.
I was.
Oh,
No, I was up past that on the horse trails, but I wasn't way the fuck up
I know
there.
where you were.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went there too.
But I think that's just a boy thing.
For sure. I think you develop what's that word? Empathy or sympathy or
Empathy.
like conscience, anything. I didn't have that develop. I remember
Yeah.
specifically being like, "Oh, that's really fucked up what you're doing," and then changing. But like for a brief moment, I just didn't care. It
Yeah.
was just an animal. Like it was like Oregon Trail, just fucking killing stuff.
I mean, it wasn't, but that's fine.
But I just remember there was no real big difference. I was just killing things. And it wasn't even killing. It was just like there's a thing that's moving and I'm going to shoot it. That's what it was. It wasn't a lot of thought.
So are you saying
I am a killer, yes.
previous generations never lost that?
Previous generations never lost that. What do you
Like literally the Oregon Trail? Are you saying people on the Oregon Trail just had to keep that part of their brain going?
mean? Dude, think about
I
this.
need this
If
for
your
food.
family needed food, would you give a fuck about animals?
Well, no.
No. Which is weird.
The endangered
They
list.
could all die. I'd kill people
they
for my
could
family.
all die.
Seriously, I could kill people for my family.
Oh, jeez, dude. What a soundbite. Fuck, man.
No, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Survival.
Do you want one?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Survival. Yeah, survival.
Sure.
I probably wouldn't kill a
Shooting
person.
birds in the gully and golden retrievers.
But think if you were like in a cabin back in the Wild West and someone approached your cabin all messed up with a gun, you'd shoot him.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no law.
There's no law. I would do that now.
Yes. Yeah.
If someone came into my house, like, forced
What if
their
they just
way
came
on.
onto your property, not in your house?
No, I'm
no,
not that
see,
aggressive.
See, but in the Wild West, you might have. But hey, hold on,
You
partner.
just kick your door open. You have to be sitting in a rocking chair, kick the door open, and shoot him in the chair.
I would. It's like a Tarantino movie.
So you're saying if the laws weren't a thing, you'd be a crazed killer?
If laws weren't a thing, I'd be the law, motherfucker. That's what I'm saying.
That's so cool. That's just how you think of yourself.
You have to, right? Someone needs to be the law. What am I gonna fucking call
Well-
911 on my stick? There's no phones.
On my stick. You have to be the law when it's yourself
That's
out
what I'm
there.
saying. That's what I'm saying.
I agree.
I try not to kill people. This has gone crazy.
It's crazy.
All right, cheers to not killing people.
We haven't had Jameson in a while.
No, dude, I've been tracking my calories
Yeah.
on MyFitnessPal.
Oh, that app and
I fuck up my life. I hate it. I drink and all my calories are gone, and
yeah.
I'll be like, hey, I have wins, but then like I eat so much fat, or like I
Yeah.
doubled my sodium yesterday.
Hmm.
So I don't know if this is a good thing.
I just move the app into like a folder I never go into. That just solves that.
I'm gonna stick with this for a while, but I'm not convinced it's a great thing for me.
Yeah,
the only
so
thing
what have
it's
you
good
been
for
doing?
is tracking protein.
What have you been doing?
Just working out like crazy.
Yeah.
Like
Trying to bulk.
45 to an hour, 5 days a week.
That's pretty good. I wouldn't do that, but that's pretty good.
I'm like excited about it. It's
What's
enjoyable.
your goal? What's your end goal?
Put on like 10 pounds of muscle and lean out.
I can give you 10 pounds.
Okay.
It's cool, man.
Cool.
Cool, dude.
Cool. But
Protein.
pretty much MyFitnessPal is good for protein.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that.
Calories, though. If you're a calorie person, isn't it good for a caloric?
Dude, I've cleared my
Da-
calories and I haven't eaten dinner. Yeah.
I'm not even gonna look
Yeah.
at mine. What'd you have for lunch?
I
Fast
had a
food.
barbecue chicken salad.
That's still a lot of sugar and stuff.
It's just stuff. Yeah, fat.
It's just stuff.
It's just a lot of stuff.
It's all stuff. All
I feel
right.
like we need to pull it back into Bundy land.
Yeah. How do we get?
We go to. He broke out of 2 jails.
Yeah.
Oh no! Did I ever finish telling you why this was important? Oh yeah, because we did. Because he turned into a third party and explained what the murderer would be like.
Yeah. So he
Okay.
got.
That was
he-
fucking.
he
it's creepy.
took the bait.
He did. His
His ego.
narcissist self just
Yeah.
fell in love with the idea of understanding the murderer.
Mm.
I think you want to know what I was honestly thinking when I watched the show, because he was so dead set when he like testified or when he said I did not do it, and if I found the person that did or whatever. I think he thought of himself in different people. So I think
Yeah.
there was that version of him that
Yeah.
was different than him, and then there was like the polished version of him, because the way he talks is just so dead set, and he knows, and he's just smart and happy and friendly, and it really felt like he was talking about he just didn't totally understand that side of him. That dude. So when he got sloppy, right after he was getting busted and escaping and ran to Florida,
He did.
he got sloppy. Travis, you might have to. You're really good with facts and details.
Track this one down
Exact
for
detail.
us.
No, but he went to a sorority house.
Yeah,
And
I
I think
have
he
it.
beat and killed 2. No, he tried to kill, but he like beat, raped.
I think he only killed 2.
Okay, but
Chi Omega.
you try how many? 4 women? 3 women?
There were 2 that were killed, and I think he tried 4,
So
but
he's-
the other 2 survived.
Do you want
He's
me to
going
just read
room
this,
to
or you-
room to room.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is his sloppy stage.
Okay, so January 1978.
Yeah.
It was the Chi Omega house. It says Bundy found a room to stay in by the Florida State University's Chi Omega sorority on January 15th, 1978. Barely a week after he arrived in Florida, Bundy broke into the sorority house where he killed 2 young women while they slept and attacked 2 more. He also attacked another woman after he left the sorority house.
So
She survived.
Yeah, so he did
So
4 at the sorority house.
So 4 at the sorority house and then 1.
6 blocks away, he did it again. While the detectives were at the sorority house.
Dude, that's like
Whoa.
That's like I don't even know.
You're in deep. You need a big fix to get your killing sex fix.
And then some.
Yeah. What's weird is he talked about his early fascination with like pornography. And I could relate, man. Like the way he explained it, I was like, yeah, no, it's hot. It was like you're young and it's special and whatever. But then all of a sudden he's like, but it took a dark twist.
He turned a corner.
No, he turned a hard corner, and it went from like enjoyable pornography, which is in like for me like 3rd grade, pretty young.
3rd grade?
Yeah, 3rd grade.
How old are you in 3rd grade? You're 8, 7?
I don't know, but I got introduced to pornography 3rd grade, so it was like mainlining heroin.
I was 5th grade.
Well, that's better.
Yeah.
You probably You probably actually could function then. I was like a little kid.
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, we don't need to go into those details. But
Did I get a boner in 5th grade? I had to have gotten boners in the 5th grade.
I don't want to recount boners, but I'm just gonna put this out there. 3rd grade, I was not developed even to be watching that.
Yeah.
But it was still awesome.
Mentally, it was stimulating.
It was fucking awesome.
Okay.
Like mainlining heroin. Anyway, his
But why though?
his
'Cause
turn
you
went
didn't
into
even have. Okay, sorry.
it worked. Something worked.
Okay.
His took a turn into he would explain it. It was like control, power, submission. Like he started explaining these weird words that he related to sex and pornography, and that was his turn. And it was young.
Really?
Yeah.
So.
It flashes these images in the documentary too.
Yeah, some of them.
Some are kind of hot, some are kind of twisted.
What the fuck?
No, they
man?
were. No,
I
they're
have to
not
watch
just flashing pure
mean
like
you mean
awful
the-
pictures.
okay.
They're flashing some old school porn.
Just like porn.
Yeah, and you're
Okay.
like, oh.
Interesting. Yeah. I don't.
We're doing a
There
lot
were
of
so many-
like,
there were so
staying
many
back on
things.
this episode.
I'm trying to weed through your thing and Ted Bundy's thing.
'Kay.
So Ted Bundy. I can't. The 3rd grade thing is really throwing me off, dude.
It was young, dude. I remember my buddy was like, "Hey, my dad left his fucking like
Was it a Playboy?
So he had like a
Okay,
chest.
fuck,
He had
man, I
like a
wasn't
chest
trying
of
to-
magazine and videos. And my friend's dad.
All right.
And we were like, "Yo, let's check it out." And then we went over there and we probably spent like 4 hours watching.
Jesus,
Yeah.
dude, you're just like 6 or 7. You're like, all right, bro, I'll see you there.
Yeah. Can you imagine? Because
No, I was
let's guess the age.
shit.
6 is 12 years old. So 3rd is 9 years old. 9 or 10-ish. I'm gonna say yeah. No,
10 is like 5th grade, right?
I don't know, but it was young.
I'm gonna Google this
'Kay,
right.
But we went we went hard, man, and we were on a regular porn intake.
Oh, really? It turned into a thing.
No, yeah, oh for sure. We all jacked a magazine. We all hid 'em places.
So you're the person that's dumping magazines in the woods.
Yes, we had the gully porn.
8 to 9 years old.
Jesus, that's so young. You shouldn't be messing with that stuff.
I mean,
It's
Who's to
life.
say?
This is life.
I'm not fascinated by that. I'm just more fascinated by like the anatomy or the biology of what's going on here because
Let me just put it
it's
this
not
way.
physical.
Let me just put it this way. It worked, but the gun worked, but it dry fired.
Oh, so okay, so you got a boner and everything.
Yeah, it functioned, but bullets didn't come out.
Okay.
That's as far as we can go.
I'm trying to think if I was
This is
shooting
great.
ropes
I can't
in
wait
5th
till
grade.
my family hears this one. Yeah, throwing ropes in 3rd grade.
Are you are you slinging ropes in 5th grade?
I had somebody's that might have been. It was near. You're at the age where you're beginning to.
5th grade?
Yeah.
Yeah, it must have been.
This is
Anyway.
such a great episode.
Sorry. Okay. So
Travis is just like looking.
the reason why I feel like we bring up the porn thing
Why are we bringing this
is
up?
because some shit went down in the sorority house. We don't have to get into it or whatever, but some like that kind of stuff happened.
He got sloppy, man. So his fix needed more. Can you imagine going to a sorority house going, I'm going to hit multiple rooms?
Yeah.
And he had a log, I think. He would log them and unconscious and then do his thing with.
Like a mental log? What do you say?
No, like an actual log.
You said unconscious.
No, he would take a fucking log.
Oh
and
my
he would
god.
beat their
I just
head.
oh my god.
And he would do what he would will.
I
What
just
he
put.
willed.
I thought you were like. I thought you would take notes, like mental notes. You're like he would take a log of everything he did.
That makes sense too. I guess not a stretch. No, but he took a wooden log, beat him on the head,
Yeah.
screwed him, and whatever else he did, bit him. He bit him apparently because there
Yeah.
were teeth marks in a lot of them. And then just move on to the next room, and the next room, and the next room, 4 rooms. And then once he finished that house, he
How
wasn't.
did the last room not hear?
I
freaking
know. They must have had their. They must have been up to no good anyway.
Why are we
Why are we
fucking victim
speculizing?
shaming, dude?
Speculating?
Speculating.
Speculating.
Speculating. You make up words a lot.
I do.
Yeah,
they're
so-
useful. You know what I was saying though.
Room to room.
Room to room. Bang,
And
bang,
then
bang.
after all of that,
Stops at a house 6 blocks down.
he's got to be exhausted.
And probably like freaking out and probably needed another fix.
Okay, so hold on. This is going to be really bad, but how many loads is that?
Do you think he's loading?
Oh, I think he's unloading.
Oh yeah. Do you think that he's making it? I don't know. That's a great question. I hadn't thought of that.
I
That
just
puts a whole nother spin on
by
it.
the time you're done, how do you you're leaving whatever
How old
you
was
just
he?
did?
How old was he? I could do a 5-a-nighter on like around
This
25
is
years
so
old.
dark.
This episode is super dark. Notice Travis isn't
Ted
even talking.
Bundy.
He's like, I will not be affiliated with this episode.
He was born in 46, so 46 to 78. What is that?
Oh, that's years. That's 34 years.
Yeah, so he's in his 30s or
Fuck no. No one's throwing 5 in
bro.
a night.
You need like a sandwich.
You know what?
need a
I say
drink.
no one. Serial killers might. Their brain might be wired where it just fuels off that.
You think so?
It's so intense, dude.
I guess my overall point was, after all of that, you leave whatever scene that was, and you still need
You need
more.
one more.
You need more.
And we're not. Dude. It's so. What's weird is I can understand sexual compulsion.
Yeah.
I've dealt with it. I've felt that.
Mm-hmm.
But like so I guess I can understand it. Like a murder compulsion would be the same as a sexual compulsion. It's just different. Same but different.
What is that?
So like
Is compulsion different than addiction?
I don't know. But like I can understand how like
This is not our conversation.
no, this is getting like I'm trying to play it safe in this conversation. It's just
we
not
can move on.
Oh, how would I say it? I understand having too much sex for yourself. Like
Oh, bro, I got too much sex, bro.
no, but like you're doing too much. It's not healthy. It's a compulsive, addictive something.
Okay.
So then just put that with murder. Just put that with blood and
Carry the two
torture.
over.
And, yeah.
Okay.
Still weird.
So
What's weird too is he chose these all these attractive women across the country. That was his thing, man. Attractive women that like really bothered him.
Well, he was looking for something.
He got dumped by a really attractive, well-to-do.
He couldn't keep up with her, right?
Yeah.
He couldn't buy her clothes. He
It
couldn't go out
fucked
on the
him
town.
up. That was. I feel like that was one of his big fucking.
Well, you said he
life
drove
alter-
himself mad, right? By
Yeah.
just in his own head trying to
So much insecurity and
just insecurity.
he wasn't
Yeah.
good enough. Wasn't whatever.
I wonder if she's still around. Did it ever say?
I don't know.
'Cause she just stopped writing, right?
I don't know.
She stopped writing to him. It was the woman who was affluent in California,
Mm-hmm.
and they were together.
Yeah.
And
She was cute.
he always he drove himself insane by worrying about I'm not enough. I don't
Yeah.
have enough. I can't. What did he say? I can't. Do you know what he said?
There's a
Fuck,
ton
I
of
don't know.
insecurity.
Yeah, I couldn't take her out on the town. I couldn't buy her clothes. I couldn't do that kind of stuff, and
Yeah.
drove himself nuts.
Yeah, he couldn't. He didn't fit in well as a child either. And I mean, it's, I don't know what makes a serial killer. A lot of people don't fit in. That's not the weird thing.
I think it's.
It's a weird mix of.
I mean, I think it's more. I think genetics and biology play into it more than we think.
Me too. I honestly do. I feel like it's a wiring thing,
Yeah.
and I feel like if the circumstances and the wiring line up in just a perfect way,
Yeah.
it creates a Ted Bundy.
Well, and we're all wired to certain things. Why does it exclude other things?
Yeah.
Like if you're wired to love a certain food and I'm not,
Yeah.
that to me that would transfer over into personality traits and to misfires.
Dude, you'll enjoy the documentary because the murderer explaining what a murderer would think
Yeah.
is like the greatest insight to a murderer's brain.
Okay.
He's not like stoked about it, and he feels.
Yeah.
I don't know if he feels
Oh,
bad.
he doesn't like it.
No, like he doesn't even understand it. He's trying to like in the documentary. I remember specifically, he's trying to understand himself, and he's like, it's like a river. Trying to understand where the river came from. And he's like trying to understand his compulsion. He's like, But the river started from like a snowflake that was like crystallized ice or something. And
So
it
he's
fell
pretty
down.
eloquent.
He's
He's pretty smart.
I feel like he spent a fair amount of time trying to figure out why he loves killing and banging women at the same time.
He does talk about. It went over it a little bit in the documentary, but I think there's a podcast that actually dives into it more. But he talks about like an entity. So like I guess
Yeah.
the whole time
entity.
was him like battling this entity. Whenever he'd do something bad, when he'd go kill or kidnap or
remember
do
that.
whatever, it was this entity that was, entering his body and making him do that. And so in his mind, it wasn't like, oh, I'm doing these things. It's like I'm battling against this entity that's
Yeah.
making me do these horrible things. And
Yeah, I remember that,
and
dude.
he didn't talk much about it in the Netflix thing, but I think there is a lot more insight to what kind of like what he was
multiple-
thinking that was.
That's interesting.
Yeah. it's really
Way.
weird.
That's sort of like that, not cliche, but that image of a killer who has two sides,
Yeah.
Dr.
Yeah.
Jekyll and Mr. Hyde type thing.
He went through when stuff would really go wrong. He would go through times of not understanding what the fuck he was doing at all, and then there was times when things were so bad. He was like, they were so bad, but he was doing good. He was like on a beach in Florida, thinking like this is the way I want to live my life, and I'm so happy. And he had just murdered and raped and whatever, and he's like, I mean, very I don't know if the word's bipolar, manic, or like he's going up and down and all over, and it's just crazy to hear
Yeah.
his internal world.
Did he?
Because sometimes he's riding high, even though his life is fucked.
So do you think, like autism,
I
Asperger's?
don't know.
This
I
is a
don't-
serious
I
question.
don't know those, but he's
Well,
manic
so-
as fuck and like
so
up
like-
and down as fuck and like
Autism or Asperger's, a lot of it is not being able to recognize social cues or emotions. Like you have no emotion.
I feel
Total disconnect.
I feel like he when he was a kid he was messed up and odd and weird, and he developed this great skill to fit in.
Oh.
So they were saying how like early in his life he could go to political parties and he could like hobnob with the biggest people in politics as if it
Mhm.
was nothing. I feel like he just got really good at fitting in. Like he
Oh.
developed that skill so well that he could just put him in a courtroom, put him in a political party, put him in a family setting, put him anywhere, and he can just look great.
But
And
in the background, it was always there.
Yeah,
like anybody who saw Surface Ted
Surface.
Bundy, they're like, oh, he's
Polished.
Your
yeah,
mom's
he's so
sister's
polished.
brother's
Yeah,
cousin.
she went on a date with him. It's like they were saying
Tying
that
it all
he's
back.
he's like clean cut, nice looking guy. He's got a lot of things going for him. But
Yeah.
his friends, that's when you get a lot of the insight of what he really was like. They interview a couple of his friends, and they're like, he never was that person. He was trying so hard to make everyone believe he was
Yeah.
that person, but he really wasn't that person. Like
Interesting.
he
That
just
sounds right.
that was his life, was trying to cover up the fact that he was probably a psychopath.
Dude, one weird thing that just popped into my head. So when he was it must have been Florida. He was working with a judge who was actually kind of cool. He let him represent himself, and he was like kind of friendly to him. But he got sentenced to death, I believe. But the judge was like, I wish the circumstances were different, or you hadn't done what you've done, or something. But he's like, I would have really enjoyed working with you, or like the judge gave
Really?
mad respect. But when
Holy
you hear
shit.
Ted Bundy talk, he's he's smooth, man.
Well spoken.
Yeah, it's great.
That brings me to a timeline.
Yes.
So January 1978 is when the Chai House incident happened
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Florida. So February, a month later, he tries to leave Florida. They were closing in on him. He tries to leave Florida, and then in the next year, June 1979, his trial becomes the first ever televised trial.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that
which
was
is kind of
crazy.
insane.
It is insane. Dude, you know what was crazy to me about this film is like they were explaining we didn't even have fax machines, and
Yeah.
a lot of our communication was done by the mail. So like, and jurisdictions didn't even share with like you'd be in the same state, and you'd have murder and missing whatever cases.
Yeah.
They wouldn't even share. They wouldn't even know.
Total disconnect.
Yeah, it was like a time. It was just a point in time where he could get away with murder, like
Wow.
anything. You know what I mean? Like it's
You're
ridiculous.
so dumb, dude.
It's so dumb, so dad. But he hit the timeline perfect where he
I get
just
you.
didn't get busted easily.
Wow.
So they were like even. I remember when he got busted in. Fuck, details are crazy on me. But they were meeting and like, let's all fly into Aspen to share notes. Like
Mhm.
they didn't have options.
Let's
It's
all
like
take
we
a
either
flight.
mail them, hop on a phone call. They didn't have conference calls, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
No fax, no email, no internet. So they're
Wow.
like, let's meet in Aspen and compare notes.
Dude.
They were like comparing bite marks and shit. Yeah, there were bite marks on the skin. He was a
So-
biter, I'm guessing. He
so-
must have been, yeah.
He was a fighter. So how long do you probably don't remember, but how long was the trial process? Long time?
Florida? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
feel like Salt Lake City's was pretty quick.
Yeah, I feel like it was all pretty quick until he was in Florida.
Yeah, and he was
'Cause-
mega busted.
Really?
Because Florida, he represented himself like
It was-
3 times.
It was so weird.
Like once just against a judge and then twice in front of a jury.
It was so weird.
Really?
And he won with the judge and he won with the jury the first time. The only time he got caught was on his way to where he was going in Florida. He kidnapped a 12-year-old girl and ended up
Yeah.
killing her.
What
Like
the
probably
fuck?
just to spur the moment. He's literally on his way to where he's wanting to go in Florida. It's another town in Florida. Kidnaps this girl right out of school.
Young girl.
And yeah, she's 12 years old. And so they came back with that and linking him to that. And he had cleared himself of all of the other murders. There were 30 in total.
Yeah.
He cleared himself of 29 different murders.
Oh
And the
my
only
God.
one that
Dude.
they could bust him on was this 12-year-old girl that he kidnapped and killed on his way to where he was going in Florida to then kill those 2 girls at the, at the college. And just crazy.
That's mind-boggling.
So fucking crazy.
The question is it his fault?
I just think he's a product of whatever the fuck we're doing.
Not even that, but I go back to biology and genes and traits and science.
Yeah.
If he was born with that, is it his fault? Is it that
I
person's
don't think.
fault?
I just think it's just life, man.
Ted Bundy's just like
It
man.
is. So Hitler's happened, Ted Bundy's happened, Manson's happened. Also,
Could
fucking
he
like
ever-
Mother Teresa's happened, and fucking all
Which
sorts
she
of-
was probably. I think she was like a bad person. No, for
whole
real.
other episode.
I think she was like an
My
adulterer.
friend's mom's brother dated Mother Teresa.
Mother
Was
Teresa.
blessed by Mother Teresa.
Yeah.
I feel like she was an
But-
adulterer.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't mind that.
No, I don't either.
Screw whoever you want. But different episode. But like this shit happens. We're human. We're
Right,
just-
so-
we're human. It's
so-
just like throw the dice.
So if you
Is
if
it
you're
his
making a
fault?
product,
Mhm. You
you're
still
gonna
need to
have
kill
a
him.
few faulty products, right? You're
Kill
gonna
'em.
have a few faulty models.
Yeah, fuck, kill him.
Is it that model's fault for being faulty?
No, but you still gotta kill it.
Yeah.
Like
So if there's a dog and it's got rabies or something.
dude,
I
think
think-
about this. Native Americans
Right.
used to have like retarded children, hard R, and they would kill them. They
Well,
would
no,
leave
that's
them
not hard R. That's proper.
Oh.
All right. Mentally
mentally.
challenged.
Yeah.
What is it, Travis?
I'm
Oh,
not
I
diving
love
into
pinning the
this.
hard stuff on him. But
You're
no,
on your
Okay.
they did that.
Really?
and-
Oh, so they would just.
Native Americans, they're like, we can't support this. Like,
Mhm.
we are surviving,
Mhm.
and we are whatever we are.
We do that.
Yeah, we have to do away.
What about prenatal testing?
All sorts of shit. So anyway, just because they exist doesn't mean we shouldn't get rid of them.
Yeah.
As for
Where
as
are
a, as
you
a,
at with prenatal testing?
I'm cool.
Up to 28 weeks?
Use
is
the
it?
tech you got, man.
I think it's 28 weeks. You can take tests.
The real question is, how does Jesus feel about prenatal testing?
I was gonna go.
I love Jesus stuff. Jesus.
I don't know.
No, but like, I don't care. Test all you
So-
want. Use all the tech you want. Make all the decisions you want. Do
So
the best job you can. Welcome to life.
So let's say you're gonna have a baby.
If I
It's
could test for
20
like,
weeks. 20 weeks. They stick a needle in your partner's belly and they say, We've got good news and bad news. Good news is your baby's healthy.
perfect.
Bad news is it's gonna have da 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 da,
Down
and it's
syndrome.
not gonna have a normal life.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I'm just making a really critical decision with what I got,
Yeah,
and I don't know that decision.
I do.
What?
Oh, I'm gonna have an abortion.
Well, what? Want to know what's something really hard? Let's just go there.
Sorry if I offended.
I'm not
anyone.
offended at all.
Listen,
Let's just go Down syndrome.
Down syndrome.
So outside of your
Oh, we are in the fucking weeds.
yeah,
I
we
just
are.
realized.
This episode's super deep. Okay, so let's say outside of your obligation, because a Down syndrome child and adult is going to be harder to raise.
Mm,
It's going to be whatever. Out of all the Down syndrome people I've ever met, they're happier. They're winning.
they are.
They are winning.
So,
So
how,
would you abort
yes.
because of yourself, because of your own workload?
No.
Yeah, because
No.
he's going to do fine or she's going to do fine.
Well, okay.
This is the greatest
Okay.
conversation.
They're healthy. I mean, they're happy.
And they're happier
They're
than
happy.
you.
They're happy, but they're also.
They're happier than you, motherfucker. You are smart and you're still miserable.
I am miserable.
But you know what I mean? Down syndrome people are happy.
It's not fair.
You're just unloading because your workload.
No.
Yeah, you just don't want to do any
it's
more
not
work.
about that.
Really?
It's not about the workload
Because
at
they're
all.
going to enjoy their life.
It's literally not about that.
Really?
For me, it's not.
Go ahead. Tell me what it's about.
It's, I mean, I don't know, man. How do you even approach that,
You don't.
dude?
This is really awkward.
I just think, I don't know. Ted Bundy sucks.
Perfect fucking skirt.
Okay.
But anyway, if I was if I could test and I found out, it's just a really hard decision.
It's a
It's
hard
your
decision.
child. You made it. You love it. I'm not against abortion
I
at
mean,
all.
I think it's one that I don't want to put that, whatever is in you, I don't
Mhm.
know, soul or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't want to put that in that.
Yeah, it's a vehicle. I think a body's a vehicle.
Yeah.
So like
You got a busted vehicle.
yeah, you do. And I don't think souls get one chance to get here. I think if that one doesn't if that vehicle
Whoa.
no, I don't think if that vehicle doesn't work out, the soul will come to live.
You think so?
Yeah, for sure. That's how I feel.
So if you're going on those guidelines
Mhm.
or that thinking, then it's fine.
Abort them all. Eventually it'll make
Holy
it.
shit,
I
another
know.
soundbite.
It's dark, but like I don't think a soul gets one chance to make it here.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Here's a great question though. When does a soul have rights? And I've talked about this with a lot of people. Like when does because like Ron Paul, who I love, because he's
Ron
all about
Paul.
freedom, would say once there's conception, you can't abort because it's the right of that life. And then my argument would be no, that life can't support itself. It's
Mhm.
dependent on mom, so it's not he doesn't own it. He's
It's not
independent.
its own
Yeah.
independent.
So my thing, I've come up with a great solution. I don't remember it. Too many
It must have been
Jamesons.
great.
Yeah, it was great. No, but it's kind of like
don't know.
once the fetus, once it can stand on its own without the mom,
Mhm.
then yeah, it has a right to its life. But before that, it's dependent on the mom, and it's the mom's decision.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
I don't know the amount of weeks, but there should be
Something.
like if you're trying to get an abortion at like 8 months,
Jesus,
27
that's awful.
I don't know, man.
I went to a rave with a girl who was like,
Fuck off.
yeah, and this is a real story. Went to a rave with a group of people, and there happened to be a girl there who was like 4 or 5 months pregnant,
Oh, hey, man.
raving hard.
Can I just say, don't
Yeah.
be there.
No, it's awful. I feel not proud of this. But I remember like smoking, drinking, ecstasy, huffing stuff.
Oh,
She's
cool.
pregnant and she's getting an abortion like that weekend or 2 weekends
Oh
later.
my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah. Isn't that
Oh my
crazy? Is that insane?
See, that is just.
That'll fry your brain.
But we can't.
Someone knows about that too. Yeah.
We can't. You can't make a decision with. What am I trying to say?
I don't know.
You can't make a decision like abortion, pro-life, or pro-choice based on those few incidents. You have to
No.
give people the option, I think.
Yeah.
It
It's their-
transfers to everything for me. Prostitution, drugs, whatever. Everything has to be your choice.
So let's go there. I don't understand why prostitution. I don't. Those are perfect examples.
Yeah.
Why are any of those an issue?
A little less.
Why are any of those an issue? Like, if you want to go
money.
pay for have sex, why is that a problem?
Money.
We've been doing that for. People are doing that now, every second of every day.
Well, the war on drugs.
War on drugs
That's
is
easy.
is ridiculous.
That's money.
I just changed my R word, but it is ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
Yeah, like the best thing we could do on drugs is to legalize most.
Everything.
Maybe isn't
Everything.
it working for that one country that legalized everything? That one.
Yeah, what was it? Portugal?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't Portugal.
But anyway, like I could see like,
Singapore.
keep meth. Sure, that's illegal.
Yeah.
But like pot for sure.
Do you
legal.
think everyone would be walking around doing meth?
No,
I
it's a
don't think so
really
at
bad
all.
decision.
I don't think so
Like
at
it's
all.
like would everyone walk around drinking Windex? Probably not.
But also,
You feel great, but like no.
anyone who wants it can get it.
I could do meth.
I could get
Probably
meth right
tonight.
now.
Yeah, I could.
You could go on the internet and get meth.
But you have to wait a few days.
But you could get it.
Yeah, for sure.
It's,
For sure. I'd call the sketchiest person I know and ask them for the sketchiest person they know, and they would get you meth.
See, okay, so everybody's pioneering for the, or what do you say, for the pot industry? I'm going to just go right to meth.
Why?
Because you don't
Meth is
want to. You don't want to
crazy,
meet
dude.
like some sketchy guy on the back page of
No.
what's that ad place? Anyway,
Craigslist.
yeah, Craigslist. You don't want to go on Craigslist for meth. Just go to your local government meth agency, and they'll get you
What if it was FDA approved, like, or not FDA approved, but like government sanctioned meth? Like
with
it's real
government
clean.
cheese.
Yeah. You're gonna
don't
have a
know.
great study session.
I will say that somebody I know volunteered at the
Oh God.
homeless clinic, the homeless shelter in Salt
To
Lake.
do what?
Well, it was Alex.
Oh.
She had to volunteer for medical school, whatever.
Mhm.
But part of her job was making these care packages for addicts, and they would give them alcohol swabs, Band-Aids, clean needles,
Oh, Jesus,
and a
dude.
disposable bag.
Jesus, dude.
And they also had a shooting up room.
Yeah, I've seen shows about this.
And it's it keeps HIV in check. It helps with all sorts of illnesses, and I mean it. On the surface, it seems bad, like you're giving addicts needles, you're giving them the tools, but it's that other flip side of like if they don't get it here, they're gonna get it somewhere else.
Yeah, and it's gonna be worse.
It's gonna be
It's
worse.
gonna be awful.
It's gonna be
That's
worse.
a hard part of humanity, man. What do you do? I feel like you gotta help them.
It is, but it isn't. I just think there's a select group of people running everything that
Yeah.
are making.
We have so much judgment on addicts,
Yeah.
when in reality their life probably is really shitty and they're coping.
I mean, Ted Bundy was an addict of sorts.
Fuck yeah, he was.
But that's, I mean, I guess there are levels to this game. Ted Bundy is like the top.
Yeah, he's definitely breaking records. Whoa.
I just think, to round it back to Ted Bundy, I just think,
Oh yeah, that was the episode. Huh?
I don't think, I mean, part of me, cheers.
Cheers.
Part of
Gambe.
Gambe. Part of me wants to say it's not his fault. That's
it's not
that's
the-
probably like really bad and
Is it your fault you're into what you're into and not into what you're not into? Is that your fault?
I don't know.
What I'm saying though is like we're just here and I didn't choose a lot of the shit I am.
What if he never found porn until he was like 20?
He'd be like a multi-level marketer, make a great one, make a fucking amazing one.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
But I
he'd
just
be
wonder.
rich and have a show.
I just don't think. Oh man, it's controversial, but I just don't think it's his fault.
No,
all the way.
Well, you're saying his fault on like a universal on a
Universal.
universal like gigantic level.
Yes.
No, dude. The humans
even
get
a-
pumped out, dude,
Yeah.
with whatever chemical creation we got.
Yeah.
Their
And,
parents, their environment, hereditary, like what fueled him, what didn't.
and he was born in the 50s. Who knows what we didn't. Our understanding of pregnancy and the effects on pregnancy at the time
Oh,
were so
Get
bad.
this: Ted Bundy's mom was going to abort.
Really?
Dad said no.
Oh,
The lady's dad,
yeah.
the mom's dad. Anyway,
Travis's mom's cousin's sister's dad
Said
said
no.
no.
Yeah.
Okay.
and so she kept the baby. That was a mistake.
Wow.
The one time abortion could have really come through well.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I'm cool with abortion. I have no problem with abortion.
yeah, I don't either.
Yeah, well, young abortion.
Fuck,
This
man.
is a deep,
How do we
weird,
get back
awkward
to Ted
episode.
Bundy?
I don't know. Ted Bundy. Let's talk
just-
about his hair.
Oh, his hair?
It's very flowy, very conditioned.
Yeah. I mean, it was a product of the 70s. But like nerdy 70s. It wasn't even cool 70s.
Go on.
Was there such a thing?
Yeah.
All right. Let me give you one more thing.
All right. More tidbits.
Okay, so after the televised trial,
Dude, he is so smooth. When they were getting ready to do the televised trial, the sheriff was talking and reading something, and then he's like, "Can I have a moment to talk?" And then he just talks, and he's just smooth, man. He's butter. He's perfect. Like
Ye-
I get why it happened. He's almost like, "Wow, man,
you're a Ted Bundy sympathizer, dude.
a little bit." I'm like, "You're so smooth, man. You're smart.
Yeah.
I get why people fell for you."
And I mean, people now fell for him after watching.
I mean, we know he's
series.
a killer. How the fuck do you support this guy? But anyway, I get why like the Mormons fell
Yeah.
for him.
Yeah, he's charming.
He's probably an awesome like
Oh, he's
member of
probably
the church.
a great Mormon.
I bet he was.
He was probably a great
Yeah.
Mormon.
Oh man,
I wonder how many Ted Bundys are. Okay, so
let's go hard on
the
that.
following year, in
Mhm.
February 1980.
80. This is fresh.
1980.
I was almost born, bruh.
I was not, and you were not.
It was
You
not.
guys were definitely fucking not.
It says there was actually a second trial in Florida for another murder that he had committed in Salt Lake City.
Jesus.
It says Lake City, but that's fine.
No, he committed murder in Lake City as well.
Lake
Yeah.
City, Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went
Okay.
hard.
So, second trial for Lake City, Florida. During the trial, he got married.
Oh,
He
Was
asked.
that in the documentary?
Yeah, he proposed to her.
You give this one.
Yeah, he proposed to his girlfriend at the time, and she was like all into it. She was a Manson chick for sure.
But while she was on the
Manson
witness stand, right?
Yeah,
She was
And-
a witness,
yeah.
and he was like interrogating her or whatever, and he
Yeah.
asked her to
And he's
marry
like,
him.
and one
And
more
I guess
question.
Yeah, one more question.
Oh.
Badass, dude.
That's
Yeah,
pretty
that's
badass.
bold.
That's pretty
That's
badass.
badass.
Oh, I bet he slayed that bee.
And I guess if you get married in front of a judge, it's legal. the judge has
It was
to be present.
proposal. It wasn't a marriage.
Well, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, it's illegal.
But he's slayed.
He's slayed. What the fuck?
Oh, dude.
Okay, so it says his longtime
Who
girlfriend.
does that?
It
Who's
was
on trial for murder? Gets like his fangirl to get on the fucking anyway, she's a witness, and then interviews her and asks.
It's distraction, dude.
It's
It's a
fucking
distraction.
amazing.
It's
It's a
just to
distraction.
get the
Wasn't it-
jury to sympathize.
Yeah,
with
because
it.
they're like,
yeah.
they wouldn't kill me on the day I got
Yeah, they wouldn't kill me on the
engaged.
day I got engaged. Is what he's saying. Wouldn't send him to death. Like,
crafty
What?
motherfucker.
So
Man.
it says, yeah, his longtime girlfriend Carol Boone was testifying on his behalf, so she was in the box.
Yeah, dude.
And
This guy's
It says-
amazing.
Bundy asked her to marry him. She said yes on February 9th, and on the 10th, Bundy was sentenced again for. Well, she said yes on the 9th, and the day after, he was sentenced for kidnapping, killing, Kimberly Leach, and then his sentencing was death by electrocution.
Yeah.
Is that
And
how
there
he
was
went
like
out?
a huge crowd.
Check this out.
Huh.
2 years later, she gives birth
Two.
to his daughter.
Someone's not understanding this pregnancy math very well.
wait, what?
Yeah.
Yes, February
Excuse
80,
me?
he proposed marriage.
Oh.
1982,
When did he get
she
killed?
gives birth.
No, when did he get killed? That's the crucial date.
Oh,
here.
Well,
no,
he
it
was
was
just sentenced. He wasn't
no,
like
we need the
put to death.
we need the death
During
date.
their visits.
Okay,
yeah,
so-
they
Because
would.
he seeded
but
that.
I didn't know he had a kid out there.
Yeah, it talks about it in the documentary.
Is she alive or he alive?
She.
I have no idea.
That's awkward.
That's way weird.
I bet name change. And,
Conjugal
Do you think-
visits. Am I
I
right?
think they
oh
saw
my
it.
god.
Okay,
Yeah, they
so
were trying to figure out how they
That's
were.
that's
he tried
hard
to
to
escape
live
again.
by.
He saw through the bars of his window. He tried to escape in '84. He confessed to his crimes in '89.
89?
Yeah.
That's like I'm alive and
Well, it
6.
says '84 to '89. Bundy confesses his crimes repeatedly.
Wow. Missed that part of the
He
documentary.
reached out to detectives, the guy who was recording, and then January 19. When were you born?
83
What month?
June.
January 1989. When were you born? Oh, you're younger than me. Doesn't
Mhm.
matter. January 1989, he died.
89. When did
Yep.
she have the baby? Must be 90.
Let me see.
No,
she
must
gave
be-
birth in
Show-
'82.
Yeah, it showed a picture of her. and
82,
she was
bro.
like,
Okay, so we're all
They
good.
said one of the things was they didn't understand how it made sense, but it was having conjugal visits.
Yeah.
Because
No,
he was
the
serving
guard
a
was letting it
license.
happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
they said that
she
in the
gave birth in
documentary.
'82. So when he died, she was 7.
Wow.
Yeah. 7:16 a.m., January 24th, 1989. Ted Bundy died at the age of 42 via the electric chair at the Florida State Prison.
Hope they didn't wet the sponge.
Green
so,
Mile,
so
bro.
Green Mile. Yeah.
So he died in '89. So his first killing could have been when he was 14, and then he died when he was 42. So
He had a good run.
30 years of fucking.
He explained kind of his reality, and he was like, he felt like he was ultimately untouchable, or ultimately like he couldn't be busted or caught or in trouble. Or
He looks like a young. What's that guy's name? I already forgot. Gran Torino.
For real?
Or Robert Redford. You know what I'm saying? He just looks
Like old fashioned?
just like, yeah, just
You
rough.
think he looks like fucking Clint Eastwood?
Yeah, Clint Eastwood.
So did you
Okay,
guys
so-
did you guys see that last movie he did?
No, I didn't see it. I heard it was.
Mule.
Yeah, did you see
Is that
Mule?
what it was? I didn't see it. No.
So Mule was
Oh,
like
shit.
What?
Another.
okay, so Mule they sold me. The preview was great. Film was good. Lots of great parts. They build a story, and it's based on a true story. But the way it wraps up, you're just like, it's like, nah, nothing. No, it just didn't.
It edged you.
It just didn't happen.
Oh, that's
So like you were expecting the most amazing gasm, and nothing happened.
So there's also a Ted Bundy movie coming out, by the way. I don't know if you
That
saw
guy looks like that
Zac
guy.
Efron. He's playing.
Zac Efron looks like he does look like Ted
Do
Bundy.
you want to hear the title of the movie?
Yeah.
Have you heard it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's called Extremely Wicked, Shockingly Evil and Vile. That's the title. Shocking. Yeah, that's the title. Of
Wow, and
Extremely
Efron,
Wicked, Shockingly Evil.
He
and
looked
vile.
just like him.
Yeah, he does.
So it showed at Sundance.
Oh
yeah,
my
it was shown
god.
at Sundance last
Yeah.
week.
They look a lot alike.
Yeah.
That's
But,
creepy. That's a
um,
weird feeling. What if you look just like a serial killer? And they're like, you're perfect. Will you please play this?
Dude, he looks fucking man, Zac Efron. You know what I'm saying?
Dude.
So the reason why I pulled this up is because it says Netflix had to come out and they said stop lusting after Ted Bundy, because everyone was on Twitter just being like, oh, Ted Bundy's so hot,
Jesus.
he's so handsome.
Who are we? There was chicks in the 70s. We already said this, but there's chicks in the 70s at his court cases, and they didn't know why they were there, but they were attracted.
Oh my god.
But like, we're not talking like I just want to be here. We're talking like moist. That's how I feel. They were
So
sexually
insane.
attracted. Yeah, it's something human nature.
I'm trying to find what the actual tweet was.
You need to watch the fucking special.
The series.
Yeah,
I'm
and
2
to hear
episodes
him
in.
explain himself is really cool and creepy.
Really cool
Yeah.
and creepy.
Really cool. And creepy.
I mean, I the part where the reporter said he took the recording device and just cradled it and started talking about
yeah.
that
I'll
creeps me
explain
out, dude.
I'll explain what he would be like.
that creeped me out.
Yeah.
Anyway, Ted Bundy, bro.
Hmm.
How do you wrap this up?
With a J-Mo shot. But where do we go? We've talked on like abortion.
Oh Jesus, dude. Let's cover all the other hot button issues. What else?
But
What-
we
what
it
do
seems to be that we agree that shit happens in humanity.
Yeah, like there are people that I know when I hear they made a bad decision, I think, oh yeah,
No, it's like the
That's-
decision they would make.
they had no choice.
They were born to make that
Yeah,
shit.
they had no choice.
Yeah.
Is he in that camp?
Yeah, I think so.
Are all killers in that camp?
Yeah, and then like deeper, what's bad and good, honestly? Like
Well,
if
killing people is bad.
seems like it, right? But
No, it is.
is this like all part of humanity? Like, is this just a learning process? What was the point of Hitler? Like, I don't want to get deep into this, but like, we need to learn things and understand things, and things need to go wrong to get them right later. I feel like is the best way I could explain it.
Wait, say that again.
So like, some of the shit
Just the
that's awful
sentence.
is bound to happen
Some of
because
the
we
shit's-
don't know better.
Okay.
Like,
So it's a learning
for an
mo-
evil ruler to make it in power and kill people
Yeah.
was bound to happen until we knew better.
Okay.
So,
So we didn't have the vision to see that it was coming.
yes, but so I don't
Yeah.
know. Ted Bundy doesn't fit that perfectly, but like, there's a lot of shit that's just it was bound to happen, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think we're gonna have
it's evolution.
bad models.
Yeah.
I think
Oh
we're gonna have-
yeah.
We're gonna have those people, and it's not gonna go away.
Yeah.
It's not. I mean,
So you believe in capital punishment? You know what's great though? Let me
Yeah.
give this.
Yeah, I do.
Let me go here.
I do.
We make dog breeds like crazy.
Yeah, pugs.
Yeah, and if they
The fuck
bite,
is a pug?
I know
A
they're-
pug came from a wolf.
It's an abortion of a wolf. But let's just go here. We kill the ones that bite humans,
Yeah, we do.
and we kill the shit out of them
Yeah.
like quickly.
Yeah.
So, and we're raising dogs that don't bite.
What if it was a person that killed one person?
Wait, I'm losing.
What if there was a person that killed just a single incident,
One? Just one.
just one,
That's all
or
you
a dog
needed?
that bites one person?
Can the dog be rehabbed?
I don't know.
I don't know. Great question, but it's okay to kill the stuff we don't want in the pool.
Yeah.
Personally,
The way I look at it is
Gambe.
Combe.
How many shots have I?
4.
A lot.
This is a privilege to live in society and be a part of the human race is a privilege.
I agree. We're part of an organism.
Yes, and sometimes we just need to take care of some fucking business.
Me too. I agree with that.
I don't know. I just
No,
think,
we're trying to keep the health of the organism.
yeah, it's a survival thing.
Yeah. It's not crazy or weird or judgmental. It's just like we got an organism to take care of.
Here's a question.
Yeah.
If you found out Ted Bundy was doing that stuff, would you kill him?
What do you mean?
Like if you walked up on the Chai house,
Oh, would I personally
would
kill
you
the
kill
guy?
him?
I watched him.
Yeah. Or like you caught him coming out there, you see fucking bodies.
I'd probably leave him to the authorities. Such a pussy move. Would you kill him? I wouldn't want to go to a murder trial for myself
Nah, I probably
when I
would.
could have just captured him and gave him over.
No, because I think
We have
that guy's a
systems for that.
broken broken human, and I'm not.
Yeah.
And that would break me.
And we have systems to kill that guy. You just got to get him
Yeah.
caught.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to kill the guy.
Does Utah still have the like line him up and shoot him in the head thing?
We had it
Check
not
out
too long ago.
Firing. something?
Execute, like, firing squad. But
Yeah.
Mm.
So
we
the,
had it not too long ago.
the idea is like five officers or whatever stand in a line. 4
So
of them
great.
have blanks,
Yeah,
and
one
one
has a-
person has a bullet.
You know the one who has the.
You do?
I think so.
How?
I don't think you fire a live round and not know.
I guess I don't know enough.
So I
about
just feel
bullets.
like it would kick different. I feel like when you throw a slug out, it kicks the slug out. But like if you fire, it's just like. if
I've
you-
never shot a blank
Oh.
like a round like that.
I would. I would assume
But
you
that
kind
makes
of
sense.
have an idea.
The force of the object leaving the
Yeah.
gun would add more.
Yeah, it's not like an explosion. It's actually like a boom, like a kickback.
Yeah.
But who knows?
Yeah. Some
But-
of the. But
Well, how old-fashioned.
yeah.
I
we
feel like
still
we should.
have that.
I feel like we should just. We're gonna kill him. The job is to get him out of here, not to make him suffer. My job is. I'm not God. I don't need to, or Jesus or whatever. I don't need to make you suffer. So
God
like,
or Jesus.
give him just a main line of heroin and send them on their way.
Heroin. But the thing is like the IV stuff that goes bad a lot.
Really?
Oh, people live through it
Ouch.
a lot,
Ouch.
and people. I mean, it can be a slow process.
Ouch.
Yeah, it's
Let's
not.
just-
It's not the most efficient.
God, we've landed on the moon. Let's learn how to kill people.
Have we?
Probably. But like, can't we kill someone? Or
Yeah.
just mainline heroin and chop their head off. Like, whatever. That's dark. But like, make sure they're dead.
Yeah.
Like something.
What about that chicken that lived with its head cut off?
What?
You never heard about this?
No.
Sean has talked about this chicken like 5 different times. There was a chicken in Salt Lake, I think.
A chicken? I
Hold
thought you
on,
said
hold on.
Okay, good.
There was a chicken. The guy cut its head off. He owned chickens.
Oh, and
back
it
in the
lived.
It lived for
Yeah.
like years and years.
Yeah,
They took it to the University of Utah to study
Yeah.
it, and they forgot to feed it, and it died.
yeah.
But the guy would travel around and make money off it
Yeah.
and stuff.
That's smart.
Well, what if that happened to a human?
That's fine.
That's my whole point.
Make some money.
Take them around.
Yeah.
What's
Take
your
us some money.
what's your gauge on capital punishment?
I don't know. Oddly enough, I feel like me and my wife talk about this way more than we
Ooh,
should.
so you do know.
Yeah,
You guys are a couple Bonnie and Clyde killers.
we really are. We really are. No, I don't think I'm for capital punishment, to be completely honest with you.
Whoa! So we
I'm
just
not.
sat here and we're
We
like,
just
just
fucking-
chop
No,
their
no,
heads
no,
off,
no.
dude.
Everything he's against.
No,
we
I
just-
think there's awful people, but like I think they're gonna die anyway.
For sure.
I don't
We
know,
all
but
are.
then you've got the issue of they're filling up, using taxpayer dollars to.
Yeah.
I think prisons should be horrible. I think that
bad,
conditions should
rough.
be absolute, like just
So
shit.
you're for torture.
Well, no, it's not torture.
No,
it's
but
like
it's your
fair
punishment.
punishment.
Yeah,
I
it's a
feel like it's a
punishment.
fair punishment because, what you believe in the afterlife, that's whatever you believe. But I feel like this is here. We try people for here. Let's make it shitty. Let's make it
Good.
horrible.
So he wants to
dude.
have you want him to have a shitty life, but you don't want to actually just axe him.
No, I don't want to kill him.
Isn't
Because
that
I don't feel
interesting?
like anybody, in
Yeah.
my personal opinion, I don't feel like anybody has the right to kill anybody
But
else
you have,
ever.
but you have the right to like keep him in a cell the rest of their life.
Yeah, you have to put them away from society because they're dangerous to society. You can't release them back in. So
That's
you put them in a little cinder block thing that's as big as that table, and well, probably a little
This
bigger than
table.
that too.
Oh, okay.
a little bit bigger.
small.
No, and it's got nothing in it.
We
It's
could
got
just-
nothing. It's got a
And
bucket.
the society
for you to
pays
shit
the
in.
price to keep him alive.
But that's you
It's
just
got a
gotta.
bucket.
It's got
all
a
the-
bucket, and that's it.
All the amenities.
You
This
know?
is great though.
No, I don't know. I don't know. I don't
I
feel like
respect it.
anyone
So
should ever have to
you're
kill anybody else.
You're for the cost of keeping him alive. but-
See, that's the problem, though. That's the ultimate. That's like the number one problem for the other side. Is like, well, we're spending so much of our money.
Yeah.
That's
know
why I
what,
don't think
though?
prisons should be that great.
Yeah, but
Not a lot of upkeep if it's just a brick piece of crap that you're putting people in. You know what I mean?
your plan would work, and it is a good plan if nonviolent crimes weren't like prison time. Like if we
True,
could clear
true.
everyone out who got busted
Yes,
with pot,
they're.
we would have plenty of room.
Oh yeah.
You
Oh,
could
I'm with you.
save-
The
oh,
truly
totally.
dangerous.
Turn
Totally.
every prison into Guantanamo.
I think there should be,
The
if
truly
it's
dangerous.
Yeah.
separate for if you're violent or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Have
If
an
you have an
evaluation
ounce
for
of
that.
weed and you do jail time or prison time,
That's
for-
ridiculous.
I can't believe drug jail time
It's
at all.
crazy.
Yeah.
So if we got rid of all those, your plan would work. But too much money in
You're right.
private prison.
You're
We
right. No, you're
we imprison
absolutely right.
people like crazy.
Yeah, we do.
What's our percentage? It's the highest in the world by far.
I'm sure.
We
I-
imprison. I remember seeing stats and being like, whoa.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying by a human can't dictate which human lives.
Mhm.
I don't know though. I don't know.
This
That's a
is
tough
what I
one.
think.
That's
No,
a, that's a
my wife
bender.
doesn't think the same way I do, and
Oh,
so we
okay.
chat about it all the time. It's just like that's just I don't know. That's just the way I feel.
Is your wife just like just kill them all?
Yeah.
Just
oh yeah.
fucking kill
My
'em.
wife's just like, oh, I think if if it's bad enough, just kill him.
Yeah.
It's like okay,
Kill 'em. They're
Jeez.
it's
useless.
hot.
Perfect.
Ted Bundy, bro.
Perfect. It's hot.
I don't. Fuck.
That's a good point, though. If we only kept it truly dangerous, probably wouldn't be a big
Well,
problem.
I mean, in a perfect society, right?
Yeah.
All this
Yeah,
would be
yeah.
happening, but money.
And, in a perfect society, they need to all die.
I'm not gonna pay them. Yeah,
It is weird
that's a
though.
lot of money.
It's weird being a human, making up rules, following rules, and then choosing to kill other humans.
Yeah, but what
That's
is it
weird.
if
It
it's
is.
not that?
I know.
The Wild West.
Society is weird.
Well, I
Just
just
Lord of
think,
the Flies.
I mean, the worst thing you can think of. I mean, the worst is obviously death. It doesn't get any worse than that as far as the punishments. But I think some people, they aren't afraid of that. They don't care. So
Yeah,
if you
True.
have an alternative, which is just a life of absolute shit,
What
a
if we
life
make
of
use of them?
That's a
like,
true.
just being
that's a-
horrible, then you're way more scared to commit a violent crime because I could end up in prison, which is way worse than death.
Yeah.
I think it's the scare factor. I
What
don't
if we
think.
just put them in like hamster balls? We could just get power. Or
Yeah, and they
something off
powered
them.
our cities.
Yeah,
That'd be
great.
badass.
So I don't understand why they don't have to power their own TVs. Like in prison, they should have to be pedaling that
That'd
motherfucker.
be awesome.
In my personal opinion.
That'd be great. Get
Yeah,
some
they
energy
should.
out. Yeah,
Do one good thing for society, and you get like an hour of TV time. Like
that's a
make something.
that's a
for
Black
society.
Mirror episode.
I think Google should tackle like prisons.
What about all the false, like death penalties where the guy was innocent?
See, that's
Ooh,
There's
Ouch.
a percentage
that's
of that.
Yeah,
That-
that's a big problem. of
That
mine
makes
too.
me lean your way.
Yeah, exactly. That's like one of the
If you
biggest
get
things.
it wrong,
So many people are in prison that are innocent.
oh,
Yeah.
that's awful.
Yeah.
That's an awful thought. Because I would kill him,
Yeah.
and I'd be like, whoa.
Have you guys seen that Netflix documentary? If you haven't, I really highly recommend it.
Don't say making a murderer.
No,
Okay.
dude. Fuck. No, it's
I do think more of you. Go ahead.
I can't remember what it's called,
Hmm,
but
nice
it's a
job.
documentary about a prison in Thailand where you can fight your way out of prison.
That's
You can
so
learn-
Awesome.
You can learn Thai boxing, and if you win the tournament or whatever, if you win a certain amount of matches, you can go free. But it's highly questionable
What a
because
great system.
murderers and like people we're talking
Yeah.
about can go free. You learn Thai kickboxing,
Yeah, what a great system.
but that's it. It's one of the harshest prisons in the world,
That's
and you
so
can.
primitive.
Yeah.
It is.
That's
I kinda like it.
Gladiator.
You killed someone, but you're a good
Coliseum
fighter.
shit.
I kind of